Welcome everybody to the 6th annual Telling Tales Out of School. Let's give it up for that. This is the 6th annual. How many people have been to a telling tale out of school before? So you know that you're in for an evening of possibility and power. And for those who have not, get ready to hear some amazing transformational stories. Who am I? My name is Decky Alexander, and among many things, I am a cat herder, a yoga practitioner, a professor, a community connector, a performer, and I have been part of Telling Tales for 6 years. And I think I was 16 pounds thinner, but yes, that was 6 years ago. But since then, really, I have been trying to tell stories that have been unreported, or silenced, shifted to the sidelines, try to give voice right through my voice, my tool of those who felt voiceless, such as a young person out of middle school for 180 days because they threw a bottle, a parent who felt helpless as their child was expelled so many days that he was 14 in the 6th grade. A girl without a mother who became one but struggled to find a home and finish school. And a girl with gifts that a school deemed a disability. There are thousands of stories where school is both savior and struggle, where parents and students are up against systems and policies they cannot navigate. So why storytelling? Well, it helps elevate voices. It connects us to people we may not know, gives us a way into worlds that may be unfamiliar, uncomfortable, inaccessible, or worlds that we intimately and personally know. Here's the thing about stories and telling them out loud. The world can take away our pride, right? They can put up roadblocks, suppress, oppress, and repress, but it cannot take our stories. Those are ours. And now this evening, they are also yours. This is the annual Student Advocacy fundraiser. It is to support the work of the Student Advocacy Center, which exists to help students stay in school, realize their rights, grow and experience school success. This fundraiser provides critical support for our statewide helpline, for advocacy, mentoring, and youth leadership programs. They could not do the work without you, and we're really, really grateful you're here, so thank you. Thanks for that. Since this is storytelling, I thought I'd begin with a brief story of my own activist beginnings. At West Ridge Elementary, circa 4th grade, I was what one would call a star of its annual gym show. So at this gym show, my talents such as crab walk, the one-handed cartwheel, a 6-second 50-yard dash, which nobody believes I can still run, would be on full display. But somehow at this time in my young life, I was less focused on celebrating my athleticism as a small Jewish girl, but on disco. This gym show was a show about gym, but it was missing the bump, the bus stop, the hustle. So I hustled, and I begged, advocated for the inclusion of disco in the annual gym show. I asked Mr. Nelson, the gym teacher, I said, Mr. Nelson, disco is transcendental. It's not just jazz, it's not pop, and it's not funk, it's all of these things. And the gym show needs more relevancy. I mean, the rope climb, that's tired. The obstacle course, we are not dogs. But I was like Mr. Nelson. Disco is dancing, and dancing is a sport, and I'll choreograph it, and I want Soul Train, and I have a really great green satin outfit. Somehow, this argument seriously worked. And Mr. Nelson and the school agreed, and a 5-minute spectacular 3-couple dance routine to La Freak by Chic found, we have applause there, found its way into a show between balance beams and broad jumps. How does one become an advocate? Learn to speak for what one believes. Where does that even begin? What happens in schools and gyms and shows where someone advocates for themselves, speaks up, stands up, and is put down, pushed back, left behind? The Student Advocacy Center is its own story of not just advocating for those who cannot speak up and tried and were silenced, but SAC gives people the tools to be their own advocates, their own tellers of their tales, out of school and in. So here we go. Reminders. The stories you hear are true. They may be fictionalized in moments or voiced by someone else, but they are true tales of lives lived. Second, reminder, please turn off your cell phone. Perfect timing. That was completely staged. Or I answer them, actually, which I do in my college class. If people have their phones on, I answer them and I talk to that person. So that's not helpful. It's amazing. All right. So it takes a community, friends, and community to support and protect a community. And thus we'd like to recognize special guests. And I think we'll do some house lights here, my friend. All right, so we have several people. Oh, here we go. I'm going to tell you who's here. We have State Senator Jeff Irwin in the house. All right. You've been at every telling tale. Folks, I think you have, actually. I'm going to say you have. We also have, hold on, we also have Andover Superintendent Jean Swift, right here, Jean Swift. We have Scott Menzel back there, not taking a seat, from the WISD Superintendent. Scott. We have Jeff Gaynor, who Andover Board of Education, right here. We looked around, and there may be other elected officials. If you'd like to stand, or if anyone likes to run for office and they'd like to stand, that's fine. Or would you like to run for office? Yes. Oh, hi, Maria. Hi, Maria. Ypsilanti Community School Board. Okay. Our supporters here, so thank you so much. All right. So before, I want to give it up for not just our documentary creator, but also the SAC board and staff. Can they please stand up, actually? And the honorary hosts for this evening, can you please stand up and be recognized? I want to thank special thanks to Steve Pebble and the Gannett Foundation for photography services as well. And we want to thank all our sponsors for being here tonight. Thank you. Especially our salutatorian sponsor this year, including Michigan Medicine and Chris and Dave Denzen. Let's give it up for them as well. There is a list of all the people who support the Student Advocacy Center this evening and throughout the year. Please look in that program.